I remember being a kid and going to like a lawn event or something that takes hours and hours on end. I even remember one time when my parents were going to buy a house. I was about 7, 8 years old. My brother and I went with to look at one. My parents were off looking at it with the real estate agent. My brother and I snuck off, and he ended up pushing me off a chair, and my head broke open. I was bleeding everywhere. It wasn't bad, but I definitely was bleeding everywhere. And that's what you do stupid things when you're a kid because you get bored and you don't know what to do. I don't know. You try and distract yourself, find fun things to do. I've also talked to my parents about all the sports I used to play. I played growing up. I played soccer, football, track, basketball, baseball. I did pretty much everything, right? And their worst ones they hated were the basketball and wrestling tournaments, just for the fact they'd go on for literally an entire weekend. That's what they'd have to spend their entire time doing. So I don't blame them. At this point, I get annoyed. I don't like the long tournaments I used to go through at soccer at 17, 18 years old. Especially if they'd be 3 days and your games are so spread out, it's annoying and it takes all day. I don't blame people for getting super bored. That being said, knowing now that adults hate going to these things and get super bored, well, obviously they like going and watching their kids play, but they don't want to spend 2, 3 full days to watch your kid play 3, 4 games at a time, especially if your team sucks. Anyways, that's going along with the video I found. It's a short one, but it's very much trying to show you why you need to watch your kids and maybe not bring them to stuff like this. Because, like, this is a track tournament. This is why you shouldn't bring your kids to a track meet, because it takes forever and they're going to be bored. And if that's not the reason, well, if you're still going to bring them, don't bring them onto the field. That's not smart, because they can easily just walk onto the field where all the kids are just running by. You don't want that, and it's completely dangerous. And this is a great representation of what can happen. That guy completely just levels the kid. And we have this comment right here, obviously saying he was wrong as hell for that one. Oh, no, he fucking wasn't. I'm gonna mute that because it's super loud. But as we can see, what happened is they're coming around the corner. He was already on the inside lane. I don't know if he's disqualified. I can't tell if he's disqualified. Nope. But he's in second lane. He's shifting over to third. He's currently disqualified now from the race, and either he's in a senior in high school or early college or something, I don't know, but he's competing and it may mean something to him. What if a scholarship is on the line? Now he just disqualified himself for the race. I feel terrible for this kid. Don't take me, I'm not trying to say, but like, this kid deserved it. I feel terrible for this kid. I don't blame him for just trying to mess around. It's a kid completely bored at a track meet that takes forever. I am blaming the parents for not watching their kid and allowing their kid to be able to just run out in the middle of the lanes where a race is currently happening. And again, that kid running, or young guy, he was completely disqualified for trying to avoid that kid, because that was a race. It looked like the 200. You don't leave your lane for that. So if you do, you're automatically disqualified, no matter what. I learned that back in middle school, and that was, 10 years ago, but I know the rules for track didn't change. He was disqualified no matter what, and probably just ruined his scholarship because a parent wasn't watching their kid enough to make sure that the kid didn't run out in the middle of where these other people are running as fast as they can. Even if the person wanted to stop, which I'm sure he did. He didn't want to hurt the kid. You can see that he tried to avoid the kid knowing he's going to be disqualified. If he could have slowed down, he probably would have. And ruined his chances as well for winning, because now a kid is in the way. I'm trying to say, watch your kids and maybe don't bring them to this stuff. It takes forever. Parents don't like it. Like I said, my parents, they loved going to my events and watching everything I did, but they didn't want to spend their entire weekend to watch me play 4 games of soccer, which can be done in one day. I understand it's a tournament, but everyone watching is bored and sometimes agitated because you spend so long there. And I'm just trying to say, watch your kids, and if you're gonna bring them, but please just don't bring them. There's just no goddamn reason to have a kid at a track meet that young that isn't trying to run around and have fun. And that at that age, it doesn't matter how well they do in a track meet. He looks young enough where I don't even think they have stuff for those young kids because they don't understand it. And I was even seeing in some of the Reddit comments that some people think he should have tried to avoid him and slow down. Not everyone. I was a very few amount of people, but it's still a thing where not everyone knows the rules and they think it has to be just one way. But no, that guy literally ruined his scholarship if he had one, or if he was fighting for one or something. He ruined the race for himself. If the rules were super set in place, which it normally is, he's disqualified. Maybe they rerun it because the kid was running. Maybe they are fortunate enough to do that. I'm not sure. But I was always taught that you don't leave your lane and you will just be disqualified. I was seriously told, if someone's in your way and you gotta keep running, you just keep running and you hit them. Because else you're gonna, either you keep running and hope you avoid them and while doing what you can, or else you're just disqualified. So it's a lose-lose situation unless you get around them. So just, run through them if you have to. I just really hope they redid the race for that guy, because Jesus Christ, he was completely leading the race, and unfortunately a parent wasn't doing their job and watching a kid at a track meet where you really shouldn't have them, especially out on the field where they can just walk out onto the track. That is a prime example why you don't do that, and you can guarantee the mom of that girl boy, I don't know, was probably upset at the guy running for the fact he just ran over their child. I know that was a long, stupid rant, but I just feel bad for people that get blamed for stuff when they're trying to, like in his instance, he's literally just running a race, and some people are still going to be blaming him for running over a kid when the parents should have easily been watching their kid to make sure he wasn't going to just jump out on the track. But anyways, that is all I have. Hopefully they were able to rerun it, because he deserved to win if he's going to be completely destroying the entire race and then plow over a child. Anyways, that is it. Have a good one, guys.